Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 25 of Black Canvas Grappling. Now, of course, we had a little bit of a break from the series where I did the New Japan Cup episodes, and of course the preview and prediction video. So I'm sort of coming back after about a week. I think it's been maybe 8 days or so, and I'm kind of excited to get back into things. So let's get into the next 2 at 8. There is going to be 3 tour shows for this episode. I'm pretty sure I did mention that in the last one. And I'm really looking forward to... Well, the first thing we're going to do on this next show is actually create our new stable, which I do have a name for. We've also got 3 pay rise requests here as well. The first one being from Kiyotaka. Not too bad on him. Okay, that's really strange. So Mitsukuri wanted a pay rise, but apparently the situation has changed. I wonder if that's to do with our finances. Because of course last month we did buy our broadcaster for Canada. And we're down to only like 100,000. And the same thing's happened there as well. It's either that has happened, or they might have lost some popularity. And they don't justify the pay rise anymore. Not 100% sure. It's very interesting. Anyway. Alright, so like I said, let's get into this show. Because I want to... Well, we've got a few things to continue. We've got the continuation of Shining Force, essentially falling apart, as they have done they did in the last episode, and they have done over the last few episodes as well. We've got some incidents. What are the incidents we've got? Ooh, hopefully some good stuff here. We got Furusawa passing on tips on the microphone to Koyo Kinoshita. We've got him passing on tips on using psychology to Shuga Amano as well. And then finally, Mitsukuri also getting some tips on the microphone. So that's actually pretty beneficial because, of course, 2 of those guys are in his stable. Let's also do a little bit more meddling as well. Kind of want to get rid of Finley's morale issues. We might just get rid of Suguru Emoto if we can't really get rid of this simmering tension they have with each other. Because I'm really just not too much of a fan of Suguru Emoto. I might have to have a look at him, actually. Let me have a look at him for a second. Is he from... I thought he might have been from Golden Canvas. But yeah, I guess not. Anyway, it's fine. Alright, so the main event for this first tour show, I think is going to be Big Bruiser Finley. And he's going to take on either Storm Spillane or... So Storm's got 52 popularity. Marvin Malloy has 54. Let's go with Storm. We're going to give it 20 minutes. It should be a relatively good match. Hopefully in the high 70s at least. And Finley is going to get the victory there as well. However, we are going to have... I was going to do some interference, but I don't think we really need to, actually. So we'll leave that how it is. Up next... At Soul Survivor, we are going to have a match between Tanyu Toshisai and Bunraku Kintori. So we need to build towards that. And honestly, I think that we should probably do some multi-man matches. Let's do a tag match, and I want to have Cloaked in Shadows take on Mitsukuri and Kinoshita. So we'll give that 12 minutes there, and obviously we're going to have Mitsukuri and Kinoshita getting the victory here. They are sort of our... I guess they're sort of tied first for our most impressive tag team. I would say Agata and Kisaka are pretty much level with them, and of course they're also already in a stable as well. So our next match, I want to have... I guess we could just go with Kamisaka and Kiyotaka, and then they can take on Suki and Furusawa. And this can be... I guess we can make it our technical masterclass. And I do want to give Suki the victory. I also want to show you guys something I found very interesting. I had a brief look before I started recording this episode, and there is something very, very strange about our creative meeting. So I want to show you that in a second as well. Don't want to do that. I want to check this. That's perfectly fine. Okay. So let's make that technical masterclass. That match will go on first. So we'll chuck that down there. Drop that one down there. Next match will go a 6-man tag. And I guess we'll go with Agata and Kisaka, and then of course Blaster Coma. So we'll have Explosive. And I guess they can just take on some young lions, I think. Actually, let's go Rock'emon Matsushita, and we'll chuck him with a couple of other young lions as well. So who have we got? We could go with Osono, but I don't really want to give him any more losses. I kind of want to start building him up a bit better. Let's go with Kubo, and let's go with Shuga Amano. I mean, Amano is pretty good himself. And we're also kind of underusing him a little bit as well. But let's give Blast the victory. And again, we'll script this one. We'll make this the Steal a Show match. I feel like it's fine. It's got some pretty big contenders in it. Although, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it should definitely be better than the other match between the young lions. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is an angle. And of course, we want to have Mabuchi Furusawa and Suki. Now, they're both going to be talking in this angle. So I'm not going to script either of them. And then I think we'll also have Mitsukuri. If I can find him. I think he's up here somewhere. So we'll have Mitsukuri and then Koyo Kinoshita as well. But they won't be rated. I don't really think it's necessary to do that, but let's give it 8 minutes. I want it to be a proper angle. And that'll actually kick off the show as well, which I think will be pretty beneficial. I might actually let me expose the name for you. And it is going to be actually I have 2 names. I need to decide which one I want to make it. Now, the first name is an interesting one. I'm pretty sure they're like a musical artist. I'm not sure if it's a band or if it's just a musician in Australia. I think it's a group of people. And they're called Golden Features. Now, obviously, the features part doesn't really play into it, but I feel like it sounds really good. And obviously, the golden part of it is, of course, they're all former Golden Canvas, and it is going to be our sort of premier, Golden Canvas grappling stable that's coming in. And then, of course, we have the other name, which I'm kind of leaning more towards, and that is it's very simple. It's just Gold Rush. And I feel like Gold Rush, obviously it's a TV show on Discovery Channel. I feel like it's just a better name. I don't know. Part of me feels like it's just better. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Golden Features or Gold Rush. I think for now, we'll call them Gold Rush. It will be in all capital letters, of course. So Gold Rush is established. I guess by Furusawa. And Suki. Yeah, I mean, that kind of works. Let's just go with that. And like I said, if most of you guys think Golden Features is better than Gold Rush, let me know. And we'll change it accordingly. Alright, so I guess we can probably do one more match, I would say. Let's go like another 6-man tag. And let's kind of use Reizan Okamoto, who for some reason has 61 popularity at the moment in Kansai. Which I wasn't really expecting. But his popularity is really good at the moment. And I guess he can team with Yeah, let's go with Yokikawa. Actually, let's go Team Taku, our current tag team champions. So let's grab Reizo Nakamoto there as well. I know I put him on the top side there, but that's fine. And I guess these guys can take on the rest of import. So Brody, Animal Haka, and Wild Red Stallion. I feel like it's a relatively good match. We will give Okamoto the victory. And I think we will have to script it as well there. Of course, Yoshinaka Taku being involved. I don't think he can call just yet. Actually, we'll make that the Steal the Show match, because that has a lot more potential to do better than this this other match here. So that'll just be regular. There we go. And we'll chuck that one. I guess it's kind of in the middle of the whole show. And then finally, I think we'll go with a Funakoshi Big Bruiser Finley angle. And of course, this is going to be the match. It's essentially the match for our next pay-per-view, which is Soul Survivor. We're also going to do a big battle royale as well. Not sure if it's going to be 20-man or 30-man. I'm still kind of undecided on that. I'm kind of leaning towards 30-man, and we get a few guys from other companies to come in, maybe just for one night only. I feel like that could be pretty cool. Anyway, so yeah, Funakoshi cutting a promo onto Big Bruiser Finley, who is going to be his next title challenger. Of course, if we go back to, this show, the last show actually, Finley defeated Bunraku Kentori, and that was a number 1 contenders match. So he's found himself in a pretty good position now. And of course, I know on this show we haven't actually used Tori or Toshasai, but we'll use them on the next show as well. Anyway, let's do a quick... Actually, I guess we could use them on the pre-show here. Actually, maybe not. Let's just use... Let's use one of them. Let's go with Toshasai, and he can team up with Marvel Malloy to take on... Let's go with Ipitsutsai and Okamasa. Actually, let's go with Young Lions. I feel like the Young Lions kind of need it more. So let's go with Hisaka and Diaz. It's definitely going to be more beneficial getting the Young Lions in a match. Alright, there we go. Let's run our first show of the episode. We start off with a 48, where we have Tanyu Toshasai and Marvel Malloy defeating Iki Hisaka and James Diaz in 11:50, when Tanyu Toshasai pinned James Diaz with a dangerous brainbuster. Unfortunately, Toshasai and Marvel don't work well as a team. A little bit unfortunate, but it's fine, I guess. It was only the pre-show match, and I guess it's good to find out negative chemistry on the pre-show. It's kind of what we should probably be using it for. Alright, so we then start the show off with the formation of Gold Rush, our newest stable. Like I said, it is essentially for former members of Golden Canvas Grappling, which is now defunct. 73 ratings, pretty good for an angle. And of course, we have Furusawa and Suki going back and forth, explaining the stable and how they're looking to run through and become champions all throughout through the stable. Hence it's kind of what I thought with Gold Rush. You know, they're trying to rush through and win all the belts. That's kind of what I thought in my head anyway. And obviously Furusawa does have his title opportunity at the Lions Raw. Anyway, we then go into Furusawa and Suki teaming up, which gets a 67. But we do have Suki and Furusawa defeating Kamisaka and Kiyotaka in 1941, when Suki submitted Kiyotaka with a Suki Special 3. And unfortunately, Furusawa, a little bit unlike him, really off his game in this match. We then go to a 40 rated match where we have other members of Gold Rush, Mitsukuri and Kinoshita, defeating Cloaked in Shadows in 12-12, when Ichiro Mitsukuri pinned Prowler Igarashi with an STO. And yeah, Mitsukuri seemed off his game as well. So, perfect. But as you can see, they're their in-ring performances are a lot better than some of the other, other young lions that we do have. Even though these two got a tag team specialist bonus. So it goes to show that they are quite good. Alright, we then go into a 57 rated match where we have Reizan Okamoto and Team Taku defeating Import in 12:22 when Reizan Okamoto pinned Wild Red Stallion with a brainbuster suplex. And yeah, as you'd expect, Okamoto head and shoulders above everybody else. It's a good match. I'm happy with that. Obviously, I don't really like Brody being in a match taking a loss, but at least it's not Finlay, and we still get a relatively good match out of it. Alright, we then go into another 6-man tag, which gets a 45, where we have Explosive defeating Rockymon Matsushita, Nobuyuki Kubo, and Shuga Amano in 12.5 minutes when Blaster Coma pinned Kubo with a Northern Lights bomb. Agata was really off his game in this one. And of course, he's only just coming back from injury as well, so I guess we'll let him off for this one. And then finally, it didn't do as well as I thought it would. We get a 69 here for the main event, where we have Big Bruiser Finlay defeating Storm Spillane in 1957 by pinfall with an atomic spinebuster. And yeah, pretty disappointing in-ring performance from Finlay, only getting a 56. But that is essentially because of his morale issues. As you can see here, the low morale penalty is quite drastic, really. I'm not sure. Did we try and give him a bonus? I think we might have in the last episode. I can't remember 100%. Anyway, and then finally we finish off the show with a 62 rated angle where we have Funakoshi confronting Big Bruiser Finlay, and of course he will be the title challenger. Okay, so we get a 65 for the overall show rating, which is actually pretty good. And increased our popularity in 14 regions as well. So I'm relatively happy with that one. We did use Kinoshita far too much on the show. Hence, the match and the angle together. Obviously, too long. Interesting that, what's his name? Yeah, Mitsukuri didn't actually get used too much on the show. That's strange. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. That's very strange. I guess he might have more popularity, or he's maybe a higher push as well. Yeah, I'm not too sure with that one, if I'm being honest. Anyway, we've got a pay rise request here from Blaster Coma. And he's getting $180 extra per appearance now. That's good for him, but not too great for us. Anyway, let me have a look. So did we... Yeah, we gave him some bonuses. Like, we do really need to get rid of these morale issues going into the pay-per-view. So I'm kind of a little bit worried about that. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. He does have white hot momentum as well, so... Yeah, I think it would definitely be pretty beneficial. Anyway, let's create this new stable. So it is, of course, going to be called Gold Rush. And it's going to be a faction. Is it going to be a faction? Faction or an alliance? I feel like it would probably be more of an alliance. Actually, we'll go faction. We'll go faction. Alright, so we'll go Mabuchi Furusawa, Suki. And then, of course, our two tag team partners, Mitsukuri and Kinoshita. So they're going to be members. Suki is going to be the deputy. And then, of course, Furusawa is going to be the leader. Of course, we might add to this stable later on. But for now, I like this sort of dynamic. So we got the world title competitor in Furusawa. And then, of course, Suki, I guess, could possibly challenge for the Challengers series, which would be interesting. And then finally, we got Mitsukiri and Kinoshita, who probably won't challenge for the tag titles anytime soon. That we could give them an opportunity at some stage in the near future, I guess. They're obviously not going to be winning the titles. So, yeah. Anyway, looking at our popularity, we're up to 30 now in Chubu, which is very interesting. Still at 56 for Kansai. Where is Canada? And unfortunately, we're still only at 5 for Canada. So I'm guessing it might be every 2 shows. Actually, I don't think I used the broadcaster. Do I need to? Hold on. I think it goes on there automatically, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it does. I don't think I have to... Yeah, I think we're good. Alright. Let's get into the next one. And of course, on this show, I want to do a little bit of work with Shining Force. And I think what we might do is actually have the main event with Tanyu Toshisai taking on someone. I don't particularly want to make it Finley again. So we won't do that. Oh, nice. Another pay rise request, although it's been withdrawn again. Very, very strange stuff. That is. Yeah, super strange. Anyway, the thing I wanted to show you is here. So, our creative meeting. I almost forgot to do it. As you can see, Funakoshi is not one of our top franchise players, which I find super interesting. Because in my eyes, he is definitely... Well, realistically, he'd probably be number 2 or 3. And surprisingly, Suki, of all people, is in at number 1, above Furusawa. Looking at him, though, there's good reason. Let's have a look. So he's actually still improving. Gone up 5 points, up to 95 in basics. Psychology is the same. Charisma is the same. Microphone's the same. Star quality is the same. What about stamina? Wow, stamina's gone up 6 points from an 82 all the way up to an 88. Anything in the ring? A little bit of hardcore. Yeah, but nothing else, really. Obviously, his popularity has grown pretty immensely. It's definitely getting up there. What about in Canada? Okay, interesting. Up to 6 popularity in Canada. That's pretty interesting. Never really thought about the possibility of us actually going to Canada to do shows. I don't think we would. We could, though. We could. Anyway. Up next, we got, obviously, Furusawa. I mean, he's actually improved in basics as well. But no psychology. I'm assuming nothing else really as well. Yeah, doesn't look like anything else. Maybe some stamina as well. He's gone up 6 points. So that's interesting. Obviously, he's got the most popularity in the company at the moment. And like I said, I'm kind of worried about him being taken from us. Up next, we've got, of course, Tori, who, I mean, everybody's probably improved. Behind him, we've got Okamoto, who, of course, is a pretty big favorite of mine. His selling hasn't improved, though, so that's interesting. It is very high to begin with. And then we got Big Bruiser Finley down here as well, who also has really high selling for a big man. That's kind of strange. Anyway, one thing we might do is possibly try and get Finley to go up in size. I just want to get his star quality up a little bit more. I feel like 75 star quality for him would be perfect. It would be perfect. It would be really beneficial. But, you know, we of course run the risk of potentially making him lose star quality at the same time. Everything else is relatively the same. Nothing's really changed too much. And yeah, the hidden gems kind of look like that at the moment. I'm kind of tempted to bring in some of these guys. Obviously, Giryu Kato, I'm very familiar with. Shogun Watoga is also really, really good. So we might bring him in for the Sole Survivor match. Maybe just for one appearance. I'm not 100% sure yet. Okay, yeah, so it's automatically showing. Nothing to worry about there. Once again, let's do some more meddling. So let's go. I kind of want to go Big Bruiser Finley and Segura again. I really want to get rid of his morale issues. I feel like it's kind of being prevented by, his simmering tension. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I kind of want to get rid of Segura and Moto, as I feel like that'll be beneficial to actually helping him get over those morale issues. Alright, so the main event for tonight, I think we'll just go with Funakoshi, because we haven't really used him. He's up to 61 popularity, which is interesting, because I thought he was stuck at like 56. Anyway, that's why it's so strange. Look at how good he actually is. It's so strange that he's not even in the top 5. He's definitely better than Finley. So I don't understand. And of course, his consistency, basics, even his selling's gone up a little bit. Stamina's up to a 99 as well. Psychology seems to be a really, really tough skill to increase on this year's game. Seems like it takes a lot of work. So, if I ever do a Road to Glory again for 2020, I think I'm probably going to have to put 70 points into psychology. Otherwise, it'll be a bit of a struggle. Anyway, so it's going to be Funakoshi taking on TEW Toshisai. We'll go 20 minutes, of course. It's going to be a non-title match. Funakoshi getting the victory. It's going to be decisive. However, there is going to be a distraction onto TEW by his tag team partner, Bunraku Tori. And that is going to be the catalyst for their well, they've already been splitting up. Like, that's been pretty evident with the angles and stuff. But this is the real point in which they're actually coming to blows and they're going to fight each other properly. So let's go with that. It's going to be a fighting angle between the two. Just for 4 minutes after the match, after the main event. So that'll be pretty good. I like that. Let's book the rest of the show. So, go a tag team match. Who could we go with? Actually, let's go like this. Let's go a 6-man tag, and I want to try and get a technical masterclass 6-man tag. So Kamasaka, Kiyotaka. Let's go with Uragun. So Uragataya, and then they can take on Osaka, Diaz, and who else has got relatively good technical? I guess we could go with Sono. I know I just said that I wanted to keep these guys from to keep Osono from losing, essentially. So I'll give Uragataya the victory in this one as well. I want to try and build him up just a little bit. I want him to sort of stay as an upper mid-carder, as I feel like that'd be pretty beneficial. Similar to like Blaster Coma, as they both have stables. Also made that technical masterclass. There we go. Next match, let's go with Miura and Yoshizawa taking on Ogata and Kisaka. Let's give Miura the victory there. Nice and easy. Give them a bit of momentum after they lost their titles at the pay-per-view. Up next, we'll go another 6-man. This time, let's go with Finley, Brody, and Harker. And they can take on Sotomura and Ozawa, and then we'll just chuck a young lion in there with them as well. Maybe Suga. Let's go Takanori Doi. That should be fine. We'll give Brody the victory, because he did take a loss, even though he didn't take a pinfall loss. He was still on the receiving end. So let's chuck that there. Might make this one the steal the show. And then we'll grab another... Let's go an 8-man tag. And let's throw Gold Rush together in a match. All together. So Furusawa, Suki, and then our boys Mitsukuri and Kinoshita. And they can take on Yokikawa and Sen. And I guess, yeah. Let's go with Cloaked in Shadows again. I guess there's kind of maybe a little bit of a rivalry going on between Mitsukuri and Kinoshita and Cloaked in Shadows. But let's give Furusawa the victory in this one. And yeah, that should be pretty good. I like that match. And we'll chuck it all the way up there. We do need an angle to open the show. Actually, we don't need an angle to open the show. But we do need an angle for something. We need another angle. At least one more, at least. I know I said that twice. Anyway, let's go with Funikoshi again. We'll give him... Actually, let's go Finley. Let's go Finley, Giant Brody, and Animal Haka. And they can... Well, he can essentially be cutting his angle onto Funikoshi. That looks pretty good. We'll give it 8 minutes. We'll give it a proper amount of time. Scripted or unscripted? We'll go unscripted, I think. And that will actually kick the show off properly. And I've just messed all my matches up there. There we go. Alright, that looks pretty good. And we're definitely in the time limit as well. So finally, I mean, we could essentially just do one more match on the show instead of doing a pre-show match. So maybe we'll do that instead. Let's go with Matsushita and Tori. And they can take on Suguru. Let's not go Suguru. Let's go Yoshisada, Matsuzawa, and Goto. I think that's a pretty good match there. Just a nice, easy 10-minute match. And there we go. Alright, so that'll be on the show as well. And that one can go... Move it up one more. There we go. Alright, so that's the Steal the Show match. I might move that one up 2 into there. Yeah, I like that a little bit more. Okay. Let's run the show. Second tour show of the episode. We start off with a 51 rated angle where we have Big Bruiser Finley. And of course, he's cutting an angle onto Funikoshi, who does come down to ringside. And of course, the big enforcer, Giant Brody, alongside other member of Import in Animal Haka, essentially standing on either side of the ring or either side of the entrance ramp where Funikoshi is coming down to. And obviously, they're kind of hinting at the fact that they're here to protect Finley if Funikoshi tries to do anything. He obviously stops, stares him down, and essentially nothing happens. But, you know, Finley really planting the seeds and trying to get under Funikoshi's skin here. I mean, the segment could be a little bit better. Either way. I mean, it is also rated on Giant Brody's menace. Alright, so we then start the show off with a match, our technical masterclass, which gets a 53, where we have Eurogun defeating Iki Hisaka, James Diaz, and Yuta Asono in 14:34, when Masashi Urigataya pinned Iki Hisaka with a jumbo backdrop suplex. It's a good match. It's good enough. We then go into a 55 rated match where we have Gold Rush in their first proper match together, all 4 members, and they defeat Yokikawa and Sen and Cloaked in Shadows in 11:49 when Mabuchi Furusawa submitted Prowler Igarashi with a Furusawa armbar. And yeah, both Mitsukuri and Shadow Ishimori were really off their games in this one. We then move into a 54 rated tag team match. Of course, this was the Steal the Show. And we have Miura and Yoshizawa defeating Agata and Kisaka in 12-13, when Noritoshi Miura pinned Yutaka Agata with the end of the world. And of course, Agata seemed off his game and of course was the weak link, as Kisaka, I mean, he got a 38. He's looking pretty good. And with that injury, Agata's kind of been left behind a little bit. At least that's kind of what I feel like. It's a good match though, happy with that. Bit of momentum for Miura and Yoshizawa. Okay, we then go into a 60 rated match. This was essentially our pre-show match that we put on the card as well. And it gets a much better rating than some of the other ones. And we have Rockimon Matsushita and Bunraku Kentori defeating Yoshisada Matsuzawa and Naozane Goto in 9:41, when Rockimon pinned Matsuzawa with a one-handed chokeslam. And as you'd expect, Tori head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. We then go into a 52 rated 6-man tag where we have Import defeating Takanori Doi and Sotomura and Ozawa in 12:30, when Giant Brody pinned Takanori Doi with a wicked big foot. I guess is a big boot, I would assume. Yeah, it's a good match. It's not great, but I mean, everybody on this team is, for one reason or another, quite bad. I mean, Sotomura is pretty good, but anyway. Alright, the main event does pretty well. Better than the last tour show, getting us to 72 here. Well, we have Funikoshi and Tanyu Toshisai. Sorry, Funikoshi defeating Tanyu Toshisai in 20 minutes, 4 seconds by pinfall with a butterfly backbreaker. And then during the match, we also had Tori run in and distract Toshisai, essentially costing him the match. Although we can't really book it that way, otherwise the audience will be kind of pissed off. Anyway, final angle is our fighting angle, bit of a brawl, and it gets a 69, which is actually pretty good for a fighting angle. And of course, Toshisai starts to beat the crap out of Tori after the match at ringside, and of course Tori starts to fight back as well. And that's how we go off the air, essentially. Alright, the overall share rating getting us a 67 here, increasing the popularity in 13 regions, which is interesting. So I'm pretty sure wasn't it 14 regions last show? I could have sworn it was 14. Yeah, that's very interesting, that one. Alright, so Murakami thinks Naozane Goto is going to be a star in his opinion, and he's worth pushing hard. I mean, I would agree to an extent, but his stamina and his psychology really lets him down. Okay, so we do have one more tour show left for the episode. How many more shows do we have? I feel like we've got a lot of shows left. A lot of shows left until the actual Soul Survivor. Yeah, so there's 10 tour days. And I think we're up to... where are we? Wednesday, week 2. So we're essentially about here. Well, we're up to number 5. So we're essentially halfway after this episode, which is interesting. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm kind of leaning towards... I kind of want to do like a multi-man main event for this one. We've got another pay rise request here, this time from Kamisaka, who kind of deserves the pay rise much more than Kiyotaka, but anyway. So yeah, multi-man match, and we want to have Finley on one side, Toshisai on one side, and maybe Furusawa or Suki, or maybe... Yeah, I'm not too sure actually. I'll have to have a proper look. Once we actually start booking the show. I mean, this is perfect though. We've got some more improvements here. So Furusawa passing on some more tips for psychology to Kinoshita. We then got more psychology to Shuga Amano as well. And finally, more psychology to Mitsukuri. Perfect. Alright, once again, this is kind of going to be like the final time that I even try, I reckon. So Suguru, Big Bruiser Finley, still no effect. That's it's starting to weigh on me a little bit. Starting to kind of get under my skin. One thing to note though, we're up to a 40 wrestling industry now in Japan, so it's starting to really get up there, which is great. Because we really do need a much better wrestling industry if we're going to try and get up to medium size. Anyway, so I think we'll do a 6-man tag, like I said, main event. And we're going to go with Bunraku Gintori on one side, Funakoshi on one side, and I think Reizan Okamoto on one side. I think I might do Reizan Okamoto versus Suki as a match at Soul Survivor. Of course, they'll also be in the actual Battle Royale Soul Survivor match itself. But I might have that... I think I might have that match open the show. And then we'll have Funakoshi versus Finley as our main event. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. So that's that. We then need Hanyu Toshisai. We also need Finley. And finally, like I said, we'll do Suki in there as well. It's going to be a 20-minute match, as you'd expect. And we will give the victory to... Let's give it to Okamoto. Obviously, the loser is going to be Toshisai. But I feel like that's fine. I feel like that's a really good main event, if we're being honest. Like, that's really solid. Should rate pretty high. At least over a 75, I think. Alright. For the rest of the show, we might do a tag... Should we do a tag team title match as well? At the pay-per-view? Soul Survivor? I feel like we should. So, let's have Yokikawa and Sen take on Kamisaka and Kiyotaka. Essentially a #1 contenders match. I'll give him 16 minutes. To these guys, they do have pretty good technical, actually. All right, let's give it 18, and we'll make it our technical masterclass if we can. And I think the winner will be Yokikawa and Sen. So they will become the #1 contenders. I want to double check and see if we can actually do that. So, yeah, we can. All right, that's perfect. Perfect amount of time as well. All right, let's also have another tag team match where we have the American Cobras taking on Mitsukuri and Kinoshita. Has their popularity... Their popularity's kind of gone up. I'm not sure. Do I really want to have them lose again? Give them 14 minutes. And we'll give Storm Spillane the victory. We'll probably have a look at these guys and see how much improvement they've actually gotten. So, yeah, Mitsukuri's up 7 points in basics, 1 point in selling, 6 points in consistency, and 5 points in safety. Obviously some more stamina there as well. A little bit for the physical abilities there as well. And he's actually improved quite a decent amount in psychology. Especially this month. I guess with Furusawa passing on the tips in psychology. Because he started the game at a 44 and he's now up to a 48. And last month he was only a 45, so he's gone up 3 points already, which is really good. Charisma's the same. Microphone's gone up a little bit, so that's cool. Acting, unfortunately, still the same. Star quality is still the same, but that's really good at a 71. What about in the ring? So 1 point in brawling, 1 point in puro, a little bit in there, 5 points in technical, and then obviously a little bit in the aerial and flashiness abilities as well. Let's take a quick look at Kinoshita as well. So he's up 6 points in basics. Wow, 3 points in 1 month in selling. 6 points in consistency, and then he's got 5 points in safety. Stamina's up about 4 points there as well. No athleticism, but he's got really good power and toughness, so that's pretty good to see. Psychology, yeah, he's got a lot in psychology now. He's got 5 points, and another 3 for this month in itself as well. None in brawling, a little bit in puro, a little bit in hardcore, and again, he's got very low technical, aerial, and flashiness. Unfortunately, nothing in charisma, but he's also gained a little bit in microphone, 3 points since we started. 1 point in acting there as well. Alright, so as you can see, they're both doing really, really well. And hopefully this match won't actually affect their popularity too much. I'm kind of worried. I don't want them to be losing unnecessary popularity. How old are they? Well, so 22. And how old's he? 22 as well. Okay. Are they young lions anymore? I don't think they're young lions. Hold on. Hold on a second. Who is a young lion? Kisaka. Oh, wow. They're actually not young lions anymore. That's really good. Oh, that's perfect. Because now we can actually use them properly in the tag division. Because they can actually get victories over people. So yeah, as you can see, 3 years of experience with no young lion next to it. And as you can see, 2 years young lion. So we can actually have them winning against established tag teams. That's really cool to see, and I'm actually really happy I just discovered that. Anyway, the next match, going to do a 6-man tag. Once again, let's go with Giant Brody, Animal Haka, and Wild Red Stallion. And I guess they can take on Iki Hisaka, and I guess we'll go with... Let's go with Shuga Amano as well, and Takanori Doi. So, a bit of a young Lions team there as well. But of course, we do also have Wild Red Stallion here as well, who is only in his rookie year, which is obviously not too great for him. But let's give Brody another victory here. And of course, I think we don't really know who his competitor is going to be, but I don't think we're going to even give him a match apart from the Soul Survivor match at the pay-per-view. So yeah, I don't think he really needs a competitor at the moment. Also, this match could be our steal the show. And yeah, I mean, we've already used quite a bit of time, so let's go another 6-man tag. Exclude everybody already booked, and let's go with Furusawa. Do you want to go Furusawa? I'm not sure. Yeah, let's go Furusawa, and he can be joined by Miura and Yoshizawa to take on... who can he take on? Let's go with Matsushita, and I guess we'll go with Ipitsutsai and Okamasa. And we'll give that 12 minutes as well. And we'll give our boy Furusawa the victory. That looks pretty good. Okay. I might drop that down 1. Alright, so we need angles for the show. Not exactly too sure what we want to do. But I could see like an angle for this side of the team prior to the match. Let's do that. Let's do Bunraku Kantori, Funikoshi, and Reizan Okamoto. We'll script all 3 of them. And we'll go entertainment. And I think we'll go success, because I think they are in a storyline together. So we'll give them 8 minutes. Maida to be the red agent. And we'll advance that storyline as well. So that looks pretty good. But like I said, we do need another angle. I could maybe just go with it. Let's just go with a giant Brody menace angle, perhaps. What about Haka? Does Haka have good menace as well? Hey, he's got 70. And Stallion has only 60. Man, his psychology is really bad. Let's just go with... We'll go with Brody. Just a nice little 4-minute angle by himself. I guess he can essentially be hyping up his potential performance in the Soul Survivor match. So that'll go on before his match, which I kind of like. Okay, that looks pretty good. Do you want to do a pre-show? Nah, let's not. We don't need a pre-show. Let's run with it. Alright, so we start off with a 54 rated technical masterclass, where we have Yogikawa and Sen defeating Kamisaka and Kiyotaka in 1805, when Sajuru Sen submitted Kiyotaka with an over-the-shoulder backbreaker. Yeah, it's a good match. Pretty good match. I'm happy with that. Also, our attendance is over 700 now, which I just noticed. So that wrestling industry is definitely helping us out a little bit. But yeah, new number 1 contenders going to be Yogikawa and Sen. And they'll take on Team Taku. They'll also be involved, along with Team Taku, in the Soul Survivor Battle Royale. Battle Royal. I keep saying Royale because of AEW, the Casino Royale. Casino Battle Royale. Anyway. So the menace angle for Giant Brody getting us a 62 rating here. That's a pretty good rating for him, considering... Well, it's just I guess it's just rated on his menace. I'm not too sure if it's going to be too beneficial for his popularity. But I don't think it's going to hurt too much either. His match he's involved in gets a 43. But we have Import defeating Iki Hisaka, Shuga Amano, and Takanori Doi in 12 minutes. When Giant Brody pinned Amano with a single-handed chokeslam. Iki Hisaka seemed off his game. We then move into a 58 rated tag team match, where we have the American Cobras defeating Mitsukuri and Kinoshita in 14-11, when Storm Spillane submitted Mitsukuri with a kneeling Boston Crab. And as you'd expect, Storm Spillane getting a 77 in-ring performance, and Marvel only getting a 66, so Storm's definitely the better wrestler of the two. We then go into a 6-man tag, which gets a 60 rating. We have Mibuchi Furusawa and Miura and Yoshizawa defeating Rokumon Matsushita and Ipitsutsai and Okamasa in 12 minutes, when Furusawa submitted Ipitsutsai with a Furusawa armbar. And yeah, as you'd expect, both those guys, Furusawa head and shoulders above everybody else, and Ipitsutsai being the weak link. We then go into a 71 rated angle prior to our main event, where we have Tori, Funikoshi, and Okamoto, somewhat of the 3, I guess, originals for BCG. Kind of, they definitely were back on 2016, before Golden Canvas shut down. They were kind of your 3, I guess, core members. But the only thing was that Okamoto didn't have loyalty to BCG, so he would often be stolen within the first 6 months by Golden Canvas. But during that time, he was obviously, he would generally be pretty crucial. Sometimes he could actually get stolen like right at the start of the game. Because I did have two different Black Canvas grappling saves. One I went really long term with, and the other one I kind of didn't. And there's the one that I kind of didn't go very long with. He was one of the reasons why. He was stolen away pretty much within the first month by Golden Canvas, and it put a big damper on things. In the other one, like I said, it was about 6 months before he eventually left. Anyway, that's a pretty good angle, and of course the main event does better than I thought it would, actually. We get a 78 for this one, where we have Bunraku Kentori, Funakoshi, and Reizan Okamoto defeating Tanu Toshisai, Big Bruiser Finley, and Suki in 20 minutes 12 seconds, when Okamoto pinned Toshisai with a brainbuster suplex, and we also had Okamoto off his game as well, which kind of sucks, only getting a 65, but obviously everybody was still a bit better than Big Bruiser Finley, so pretty interesting. This is a really good show, though. We get a 72 overall rating for our final tour show for the episode, but unfortunately still only increasing our popularity in 13 regions. It's going to be super, super tough to get these Kansai, the last 3 points we need of popularity in Kansai for that medium size upgrade for the company. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be really, really tough. But we'll do it. We'll definitely do it at some stage. It's just gonna take a while. And of course, we still need to get the 35 in Chubu or these other 3 regions here that are lacking a little bit behind. Let's have a look at Canada again. Okay, so we're up to 6 popularity now in Canada, which is nice. So it is roughly 2 shows per 1 popularity point for Canada at the moment with our small broadcaster. So that's pretty good. Obviously, that is because of the, as you can see, the wrestling industry. It's at a 94, still rising in Canada as well. So I think we're essentially getting 0.5 increases. I could probably check if we went into the editor. And we might do that next episode and just actually have a look at how much popularity we're gaining per show, because I think that'd be pretty interesting to have a look, and we might be able to judge a few things based on that. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the episode, please make sure you do drop a like on the video. It does show me your support for the series. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn that notification bell on. Apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy, and goodbye.